All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanan. In this video, man, we're going to cover some bizarre happenings and excuses for Teofimo Lopez losing to George Kambosos. And when I'm saying they're excuses, I mean they're excuses that if they're true, I believe may be legitimate excuses. But let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanan. Hey, before we get into the subject matter of the video, if you would not mind, because a lot of times people forget, please hit the like, share the video, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. It'd be greatly appreciated, helps grow the channel. Look, man, I'm doing this video because I read an article on Boxing Scene. Very, very good article in which it talked about the demons of Teofimo Lopez that ended the prophecy of the chosen one or the takeover, whatever, very, very flowery writing that they were doing in this article. But they laid out some details from some things that happened in interviews before the Teofimo Lopez fight with George Kambosos, and also some very odd things that Teofimo Lopez is credited with having done after the George Kambosos fight. And in long story short, Teofimo Lopez may be somebody, that really got too much too early and really did not know how to handle it. But let's go through it. Pretty much, the highlights of it was that leading into this fight with George Kambosos, Teofimo Lopez had a bunch of stuff going on in his life that would distract if true, would distract anybody from what they're trying to do. And again, this is not me belittling Teofimo Lopez. This type of stuff going on, it's life. It happens, it happens to a lot of people. And it really truly is, or these things really truly are things that are difficult to get your mind around and difficult to overcome. The first thing is that he said that his wife left him right after the birth of their first child. In the video, it was not really clear whether or not they got back together or not, if this was something that was a little while ago. But seeing as they got married in 2019, more than likely it's something that happened relatively recently. I do not recall seeing his wife, any photos of his wife, at the fight. If she was there, please forgive me, but I don't think so. But at least in this article, it made it sound like, Teofimo Lopez was having difficulties with his wife, and that it was really affecting his mind. The author of the article was really talking about how, disoriented, or described it in a way where, they were doing an interview with Teofimo Lopez, and Teofimo Lopez just seemed very, very, disoriented. Seemed like, he would say one thing and then he would change subject matter to something else that had nothing to do with it, right? It was just really, really scattered. He also said, that Teofimo Lopez at some point in time in the interview was really, said to the boxing writers, like, oh, I really like you guys. You guys treating me a lot better than everybody else does. Energy is my real big thing with me. But by the way, you guys don't know how stressful it is to be me. I've only got $20,000 in my bank account up until, I closed a couple of these deals, to get sponsorships. And it was like, pause right there. Sounds like those young men problems that young athletes get into, and a lot of young people get to when they get their hands on a lot of money too quickly and don't know what to do with it. I had mentioned coming into the fight that I'd seen some videos by Teofimo Lopez, and they were going into a house, and they were actually walking around. I believe it was Snow Queen, LA. A videographer channel that was interviewing him, that was walking around the grounds of this basically looked like a palatial estate he was on. He walked into the house, showed her around the house. It was, man, obviously a multi-million-dollar house. I don't mean like $2 million house. I mean like a 10, 15, $20 million house just from the area that I could see. So, it just seemed like maybe Teofimo Lopez, just got really in over his head as far as how much money he was spending. The fight with George Kambosos got pushed off for a year. So his money was affecting him then. As far as what was going on with his wife and all of that, I don't know if you recall, but before he won his championship, and I think it may even have been it was definitely before the Richard Comey fight, maybe the Mason Menard fight, something like that, when he first started getting, really getting pushed towards where he was going to get a title shot and he started earning more money. He got married to his wife, and there was this big rift between him and his father and his mother wouldn't talk to his wife, and all kind of drama was going on there, man. So, so basically Teofimo Lopez coming into this fight was like, look, I don't have any money. I just, I only got $20,000 in the bank off of, because I do believe like last year he made over $1 million a fight at least 2 times. And, between paying your taxes, paying your trainer, paying your promoter slice, if that's how they calculate that, all that stuff can really wear and tear on Teofimo Lopez. So, and then he comes out and, you could tell it the entire time. At least it looked like that to me the entire time. He was saying things that just didn't sound like they made a lot of sense. Specifically, like he said, I'm the biggest payday, I made the biggest payday for Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter. It just seemed like he was saying anything and doing anything he could to try to promote the fight and to make him seem like he was this really, really big fighter. And maybe it had a lot to do with all of the drama that was going on, before the camp. So, after having heard that and believing that stuff is probably true, I don't know what Teofimo Lopez is going to do. That's going to be tough if you've got all of that type of stuff, all that baggage and all that drama going on in your personal life, and you've got to train to be a world-class athlete. You need harmony in your life when you're doing that type of stuff, man. So really, I think just off of just strength of what he said and what this boxing writer said, and I'm going to tell you, man, if Teofimo Lopez thought that boxing writer was his friend, after reading that article, which came in right after that loss, oh, no. He put his business on the street. He absolutely positively put his business on the street, painted a picture of a kid that was deluded and lost, and I just think that was really, really, really a tough thing to do to Teofimo Lopez. Don't think these boxing media folk are your friends. Definitely not that guy, the way he laid in and made Teofimo Lopez almost look like a complete nut job. And in fact, afterwards, he talks about what Teofimo Lopez did after the fight. And he says, look, Teofimo Lopez told everybody, like, after the place had cleared out, the crowd had cleared out, that Teofimo Lopez, was walking out and he stopped the people around him, said, hold on. And then he did that backflip that he does in the ring after he wins, right? So he was like, I'm doing my victory backflip. The guy even made fun of him from doing the victory backflip. So, as much as I would like to jab and poke at Teofimo Lopez, because without a doubt, his camp was highly, highly obnoxious. You don't want to see that type of stuff going on in the life of a guy that is that young, that really does have a promising life in front of him. So, I'm hoping that everything kind of works out well for him. That whatever his problem is with his wife and whatever problem with his wife he has, and that he gets that worked out, that, whatever problem he got with his father, because one of the things that they pointed out in that article is that Teofimo Lopez Sr., this guy is a guy that they said was trainer of the year over Derek James, in between rounds was literally hamming it up or going back and forth with people in the crowd, talking to people in the crowd while Teofimo Lopez is walking to his corner, sits down, and Teofimo Lopez is actually sitting there for a minute, like maybe 15 seconds before his father even got into the ring. And if you notice how these guys are with those corners, they are very precise. When that bell rings, that chair is supposed to hit. The chair is supposed to hit, be put in there, be there before the guy sits down. When the fighter sits down, that the trainer is supposed to be right there to start talking to him, icing his head, giving pouring water on his head, giving him instructions and doing all of that. And it just seemed just like a lot of turmoil, a lot of mayhem going on around in those corners. So anyway, that's my report on what those articles said. You let me know what you think in the comment section. I know there's a lot of people that are not going to have a lot of sympathy for Teofimo Lopez. having his baby mama leave him and spending all his money. But anyway, it is what it is. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.